Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Tech Tip Tuesdays. My name is Scott Ruesch. I'm the Director of Residential Service Operations here at Caliber Computer Solutions. And today I just kind of wanted to show you some things you can do to try and keep your computer up to speed if you notice that it starts running a little slow, it doesn't load up as fast. These are just some quick tips that you can try out for yourself, see if they help any. So one of the first things that I do whenever we have computers that are brought in that are running slow is I typically see what starts up when your computer starts up, because with Windows computers you generally have a lot of applications that like to start up when you turn your computer on that you may not want to have running. Um, so a quick thing that you can do to check is go into what's called Task Manager, which is just a built-in tool in Windows, and you can reach it by hitting Control, Shift, and Escape, or you can press Control Alt Delete and go in to where it says Task Manager. So once you get this little window loaded up here, then you can go across the ribbons here. You can click on the tab that says Startup. And so in here is every program that runs whenever your computer starts up. So, I'm just going to go through this list, just some things that I want to disable. So for example, CCleaner, that's not something I want running when I start my computer up. That's something I only run when I need to. So I'm just going to hit disable on that. And so what that does is that keeps it from running when your computer turns on. And then Java Update Scheduler, that's something that is used by Java to update itself, and that's typically something you want to leave running, just so you can be aware whenever security updates are there. And same thing for this one. This is actually a program I use that not many people are going to have installed, but this is something that I like to keep enabled. Microsoft OneDrive, if you have it, is something that kind of helps sync a lot of your data to the cloud. Same thing goes for Nextcloud. Parsec is just another program that I use for remote access. That I can leave enabled because that's not really something I'm concerned about. Now, when we get down here, if we look, Spotify, I don't use Spotify personally, and even if I did, that's not something I want running when my computer starts up. So you can see I've already disabled it here. And then Steam, again, not something I want running as soon as my computer starts up. I just prefer to have it open as soon as, I want to have it open. So I'm just going to disable that. And then Windows security notifications are something that you probably want to have running. Even though the built-in antivirus in Windows 10 typically does not have a whole lot of protection, it's still a better than nothing line of defense, and it can let you know when something's going on with your computer. So after you've already gone through your list of programs and you've seen, what all you can disable, and if your computer still seems like it's not running as fast and it's still taking a little bit of time to load things up, another thing that you can do is try defragmenting it. So the way data is stored on a computer, it's typically stored in fragmented chunks, especially if you're constantly deleting files and overwriting it with new data. And that can cause your computer to spend more time searching for the data than it does actually using it. So a tool that I use is called AllSlogix Disk Defrag, and I will provide a link to download it in the video description. So just opening that, and then you can hit yes on the prompt that comes up. So just opening the installer for it, there's a few things that you probably want to take note of. So number one, when you get to here, again, I typically don't run it at startup, so that would be when my computer turns on. And normally I don't create desktop icons for programs, but your preference may differ. So you can go ahead, hit click to install, and it's going to have a bunch of offers. What you can do is just hit skip all offers, and then it's going to go ahead and install it. Then after it finishes installing, then you can just go ahead, make sure the checkbox that says launch disk defrag is checked, and just hit finish. And then after you do that, it's going to come up with this screen right here. Now, I have solid state drives in my computer, so this isn't something that I would normally use. But if it doesn't have that little green check mark under where it says SSD, then this could potentially help you. So something that you want to make sure you run, well, you want to make sure you change settings before you run defrag. So I usually go into settings and program settings. And one of the things that I do is under algorithms, I'll move the system files to the beginning of the disk. And then under disk cleanup, here at the top here, if we click on that, I usually just check all of these boxes, just make sure that a lot of junk files are getting removed. And if you want to know how to really clean up junk files, then you can actually watch our last video that we did. So after you check all that, you can go ahead and hit OK. And normally your drives will be checked. Mine aren't because, again, they're solid state drives. So just make sure these are checked, then you can go ahead, hit this arrow, and then hit defrag and optimize. And so what that'll do is that'll move all of the data that is supposed to be loaded together. So it's going to move all of that data in one easy to access location so that, it's not constantly having to look for other data that your programs might need to run. Now, as always, if you guys have any other questions, go ahead, leave a comment under the video, or you can go ahead and give our office a call at 812-386-8919. Again, that is 812-386-8919. Or you can go ahead and send us an email. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next week.